Hello, today is the 21st of September 2010. This is video number 2. There will only be one image on the screen, which is the one you are looking at. That is the SLV chart from 2 p.m. today to 3 p.m. And very wild moves, very wild. At 2:18, a low of $20.12. 4 minutes later, 222, it got up to 2048. That's a gain of 36%, 36 cents, or almost 2%. Then at 2:29 p.m., it went down to 2029, 243 up to 2051, and then at the end of the session, it closed at 2039. So therefore, why were the moves so wild? And when the Federal Reserve has their minutes, the markets go wild, whether it be gold, silver, stocks, the dollar. The dollar got crushed when the Federal Reserve was speaking today. And the headline that I read from the Associated Press, that I like to refer to as the propaganda press, is that the Fed signals it will take further steps if needed. But they're also saying that, how do I say this? Why don't I just read it? The Fed is prepared to see if the economy can heal on its own. The Fed is prepared to see if the economy can heal on its own. What are the chances that they will allow something like this to actually happen? After all, they did say that it would provide new relief if necessary, and that new relief is other words for quantitative easing. And the word quantitative easing is a nice fancy word for printing more money backed by nothing, a fancy way that many of the people listening to these videos and articles can hear the word quantitative easing and think, wow, they're working to get things better. And interestingly enough, within this article, it said the Fed is more worried about prices falling than they are rising. Reason? Well, because the economy is so weak. And I'm reading this, I'm not just saying this, I'm reading this. And it's interesting where they say the economy is so weak, and yet it was the summer of last year when we exited the recession. So we've had one great year of everyone being so happy, people having all of this extra fiat cash so that, well, they can do their work as the two-thirds consumer economy and spend, spend, spend. Of course, when you hear words like, we're out of the recession, well, the amount of times economic recovery is stated on a day-by-day, heck, hour-by-hour, and even minute-by-minute basis, you would kind of wonder, well, aren't things supposed to be looking better? You might be saying to yourself, well, I've had no luck getting a job. I mean, I'm lucky if I can even get an interview to work at the local McDonald's or Kmart. And when you hear the word economic recovery, do you believe it? And with any video, any article, say to yourself, what's the motive? Why are they saying what they are saying? After all, if the Fed were to come out and say, oh, things are going to get worse, we're just printing off our fiat money, which we essentially back by nothing, and we're going to do these maneuvers to give the banks extra money to try to stimulate the economy, which most likely won't work. What do you think would happen? Do you think we would have a bank run? After all, if they're not ready for a bank run, they will do everything they possibly can to avert that from happening. So I'm going to end the video at this. We had a wild, wild session from 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock. But regardless of whether the price of silver goes lower or whether the price goes higher, it's all being done from the COMEX trader and thus the powers that be. What the real value of silver is based on its real supply and its real demand. The supply being the world's inventories, what everybody has that is available for use or for trade, and the demand, well, that one is very self-explanatory. Thank you for watching. Have yourself a great day. Bye-bye.